welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmafwebe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. In a renewed push to accelerate Nigeria's human capital growth, Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for stronger international collaboration and data-driven strategies to advance the country's human capital development 2.0 agenda. Speaking virtually at a high-level roundtable on the sidelines of the 2025 World Bank IMF Spring meetings, Nigeria's Vice President reaffirmed President Bola Tinubu administration's unwavering commitment to placing human potential at the center of the country's development plans. A statement issued by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nkwocha, states that Shettima said the success of Human Capital Development 2.0 agenda will hinge on data-driven, evidence-based interventions as well as sustained political will. President of the Nigeria Rescue Mission Organization and former president of Buhari Youth Organization, Dr. Jibril Mustapha, has urged former President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to contest the 2027 presidential election. Mustapha, who made this call in a statement in Lagos, said Jonathan should heed the calls to run for the office of the president again. The Yoruba Youth Council, YYC, has called on the federal government to declare a state of emergency in Zamfara State in order to restore peace and stability. This appeal follows the deepening political crisis and worsening security situation in the state. In a statement issued by its national coordinator, Eric Oluwole, the YYC expressed concern over the ongoing power struggle between two factions of the state's House of Assembly and the inaction of the Governor Dauda Lawal government. The council noted that while bandit attacks, killings, and abductions are on the rise, lawmakers remain preoccupied with political infighting. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, has confirmed the completion of emergency runway repairs at Akano Ibiam International Airport in Enugu, allowing flight operations to resume on Monday, April 28, 2025. The reopening announcement was made in a statement issued and signed by the authority's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Obiageli Ora. Initially, the airport was set to reopen on May 6 following its closure due to a significant rupture in the asphalt surface at a critical section of the runway, as announced by the agency on April 18. Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has directed a total clampdown on unregistered hospitals and quack medical personnel operating within the nation's capital. Larry Olayinka, Senior Special Assistant on Public Communications and Social Media to the minister, disclosed this in a statement in Abuja. Olayinka explains that the minister gave the directive while reacting to the death of a pregnant woman at a private health facility located in Durumi, Abuja, following a cesarean section. According to him, the minister warned that anyone found operating an illegal facility or working in an unregistered health facility should be arrested and prosecuted. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has debunked rumors suggesting that it posts candidates to examination centers outside the towns they selected. In a statement issued in Abuja, the board's spokesperson, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, clarified that candidates are always assigned to centers within their chosen towns based on available computer-based test facilities. Benjamin emphasized that the board prioritizes candidates' convenience, ensuring that their examination locations align with their preferences among listed options. He noted that candidates retain the right to choose their examination towns, and JAMB strictly adheres to those choices when making center assignments. On a sad note now, at least 5 persons lost their lives in an explosion in a residential area in Omoku, headquarters of the Ogba Egbema Ndoni local government area of Rivers State. Fine Face Dumna Mene, an environmentalist and executive director of the Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, confirmed the incident in a statement. It was noted that the blast was said to have occurred in one of the rooms in a residential area used for restoring illegally refined petroleum products. Kano State's Pilgrims Welfare Board has announced the airlift of intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia for the 2025 Hajj, which officially will begin on May 13, 2025. Chairman of the board, Lamin Rabiu Dambapa, made the disclosure during an inspection visit to Hajj training centers in Ungongo and Bichi local government areas. The visit formed part of the board's ongoing preparations for the forthcoming pilgrimage. According to Dambapa, the first batch of Kano pilgrims will be airlifted to the Holy Land via Max Air, following the schedule released by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON. A lecturer at Taraba State University, Professor John Ajayi, has called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently review Nigeria's commitment to the Economic Community of West African States, a Transhumance Protocol, and fast-track the enactment of a national law banning open grazing across the country. Ajayi made the call in an open letter addressed to the president, where he warned that the country is facing, quotes, a defining moment, unquote, that demands bold executive action to protect national sovereignty, security, and unity. He noted that the Economic Community of West African States Transhumance Protocol, which was originally intended to facilitate pastoral mobility across West Africa, has worsened insecurity, encouraged violence and occupation by armed groups, and undermined Nigeria's territorial integrity. Operatives of the Delta State Police Command have shot dead 5 suspected kidnappers in a fierce gun battle. Public Relations Officer of the State Command, Bright Edafe, confirmed in a statement that the suspected kidnappers had engaged the operatives in a gun battle after a raid on one of their hideouts in a forest between Isela Zaba and Utulu. He said the operatives had earlier stormed another of the kidnappers' hideouts in Agu Awambia Forests, Anambra State, where they recovered one AK-47 rifle and 132 rounds of live ammunition. Let's stay in Delta State now, where the coordinator of the National Youth Service Corps, NYC, John Vandi Kwange, says a heavy rainstorm has wreaked havoc at the orientation camp in Iseluku and Yocha North local government area of Delta State. The state NYC coordinator disclosed these during the swearing-in ceremony of the 2025 Batch A Stream 1 Corps members posted to the state. Kwage said several key facilities were destroyed, including 6 electricity poles, the main kitchen, kitchen stores, and other infrastructure. This is Global Television, and you're on to the live broadcast of News Cycle. When the second part of this news broadcast returns, Barcelona edge Real Madrid in extra time to win Copa del Rey final. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories for you on the flip side of this break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with us here on News Cycle with Uyi Agumofugbe. The second part of our broadcast returns with business, where the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Dr. Olayemi Kaidoso, says the reforms implemented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government in the past 18 months are not easy, but delivering results. This is according to Kaidoso's except released upon the closure of their 2025 IMF World Bank spring meetings in Washington, D.C., United States, where he explained that Nigeria's delegation attended the meetings to showcase economic reforms under President Bola Tinubu's administration. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it has raised a total of over 1 trillion naira at its open market operations auction held on Friday, April 25, 2025. This follows an overwhelming investor demand that led to a 102% oversubscription. According to the Apex Bank data, the auction, which initially offered 500 billion naira across 2 maturities, attracted a total bid of more than 1.4 trillion naira. The monthly statutory allocations to state governments from the Federation account may decline in the coming months following an official request by the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, NSIA, to boost the nation's residual funds with the support of 100 billion naira monthly. The Director General of the authority, Aminu Umar Sadiq, says it's aimed at unlocking large-scale investments to drive Nigeria's economic growth. He made the request at the March revenue sharing meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting. Let's go to the foreign scene now, where the Namibia Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water and Land Reform, Mark Albert Hengeri, has resigned following his arrest. The Namibia Broadcasting Corporation reported this, citing Press Secretary at the Presidency, Alfredo Hengeri. The former minister had served in the position for only 27 days after being appointed by President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah on March 22nd. And still in Africa, Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo have signed an agreement to respect each other's sovereignty and come up with a draft peace deal by 2nd of May. The deal was signed by the 2 countries' foreign ministers in Washington, with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also present at the ceremony.
Thank you all for being here today. I'm honored to be here with my counterparts, the foreign ministers of Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, to witness the Declaration of Principles for Peace.
Hundreds of thousands of civilians have been displaced in recent months as Rwanda-backed M23 rebels have seized swathes of mineral-rich territory in eastern DR Congo. After losing territory, the government in Kinshasa turned to the United States for help in exchange for access to the minerals. However, there are indications that both sides are now committing to lasting peace.
We are clear in the Great Lakes region, peace must come first, followed by the rebuilding of trust, and then, only when conditions are right, the careful reopening of a path to meaningful bilateral cooperation.
Relations have been poor between DR Congo and Rwanda, that the meeting in Washington and a promise to resolve disputes through dialogue is a sign of progress.
Our common aim is to conclude a comprehensive peace agreement as soon as possible. But there are no shortcuts or quick fixes, and we have to do the hard work to get it done right, once and for all. Rwanda is committed, and we are ready to continue working together with all the partners involved to ensure the success of this initiative.
Earlier this week, DR Congo and the M23 group said they were committed to peace, expressing hopes that a permanent ceasefire could be reached.
The death toll from a powerful explosion at Iran's biggest port of Bandar Abbas has risen to 25, with more than 700 people injured. State media saying firefighters are working to fully extinguish the fire. The blast, which officials said was probably caused by chemical materials, took place in the Shahid Rajai section of the port, Iran's biggest container hub. And out of sports, Juventus are still closely following Victor Osimhen's transfer situation amidst the uncertainty surrounding his future ahead of the summer window. Osimhen, who is currently on loan at Galatasaray from Napoli, has been linked with top clubs in Europe thanks to his eye-catching performance in the Turkish top flight. Juventus will reshuffle their attack in the 2025-2026 campaign as Randal Kolo Muani is on loan from PSG, while Dusan Vlahovic will likely be put on the market as the Serbian is refusing to extend his contract with the Bianconeri. Barcelona defender Jules Koundé struck deep in extra time to decide a gripping Copa del Rey Clasico final on Saturday in Seville, earning his side a 3-2 win over rivals Real Madrid. The Catalans, aiming for a quadruple this season, won the first major trophy of Hansi Flick's reign as coach and a record-extending 32nd Spanish Cup in dramatic fashion. Coach Flick spoke after the crucial encounter.
I think for everything, it's really, I'm really proud. I appreciate a lot what they are doing on the pitch. They never give up, and I think everyone is proud about this team. Not only I, the fans, the club, everyone, and they deserved it tonight. And of course, the second half was Real did it really good, but at the end, Jules, he in the extra time he saved 2 chances from Real, and he made the goal. And it's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable.
Barcelona has scheduled to host their Inter Milan in the Champions League semi-finals on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Barcelona winger Lamine Yamal has claimed Real Madrid cannot handle this season. Yamal was peaking after Hansi Flick's men came from behind to beat their bitter rivals in the Copa del Rey. Jules Koundé struck a dramatic 116th minute winner to clinch the trophy after Ferran Torres' late goal had forced the game into extra time. And that's a full circle on the news here. Thank you for watching. Just to remind you quickly that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TV NG as well as other handles as you now see on your screen. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe, assuring you that I'll see you when it's time for News Prime.